Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. On this channel, I'm helping you level up your communication skills. On this episode, we're going to be talking about why do people gossip, and more specifically, why do people gossip about you? Because when you're involved, that's when the stakes are high. If other humans are talking about other humans, it's whatever. But when we are personally involved, we get curious. Why are people talking about us? There was this storyteller named Julius Lester. And one time he got invited to speak in an auditorium full of college students to talk to them about storytelling. And how he opens his talk was extremely shocking for plenty of people. He opens his talk by saying that he loves to gossip. Heck, he would often go to his children and be like, yo, kids, come here. Do you have any gossip you could tell me? What's going on with your friends? Did you hear anything? And his kids would look at him shocked. They'd be like, Dad, you're an adult. You're not supposed to like gossip. What's wrong with you? And Julius was like, look, you don't have to embarrass me, okay? Do you have anything or not? And then his kids would do their best to try to give this man some gossip. Mind you, Julius isn't just some average nobody. He's a 13-time award-winning author, the author of multiple books. He has profound ideas, yet he's telling this auditorium full of students that he likes to gossip. His understanding regarding gossip should give you personally a stronger understanding regarding storytelling as well as gossip. Because humans, naturally, we are narrative creatures. The narrative is what gives us meaning. It allows us to form a perception of our external world. Even our ancient ancestors, they were creating cave art. During that era, it was their form of storytelling. No one sat them down and was like, hey, this is how you tell stories. It was something that was coming out of them. So just by using a little bit of judgment, we can understand that humans naturally tell stories. Okay? How does gossiping tie in with the act of storytelling? Well, for us to understand this, we have to be sure that we're not viewing storytelling in a finite way, where we're like, this is how you tell stories, and this is the only way how we do it. No other way. This is the wrong interpretation. Rather than viewing storytelling like this, instead, we should view it as a gradient. A gradient. You ever seen one of those graphs where you see a color extremely dark, then it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter? That's a level of a gradient. And when we view storytelling in the realms of a gradient, gossiping starts to make a lot more sense. Gossip is a part of this gradient. Now, how do we determine this gradient? How we tell stories is defined by our consciousness depending on the moment that we are currently residing in. People that are telling stories about big, grand ideas that you've rarely heard of, those are individuals on the higher end of the gradient. On the flip side, people that are consistently gossiping about other people, about fixed events from their interpretation, it's on the lower form of gradient. And to understand this gradient, we have to understand that on the bottom tier, that's where plenty and plenty of people are. And as we are rising and rising and rising above the gradient, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We see this on the internet. On the internet, what are some of the biggest YouTube channels you see? Some of the biggest YouTube channels you see are speaking about culture of some sort. A lot of it is about entertainment. A lot of it is about drama. Did you hear such and such did this? Did you hear this person got in this scandal? Did you hear about the latest gossip in this? It's a form of culture. And anytime your channel or your content topic is predominantly based on culture, is a form of gossip. I'm not saying it in a malicious sense, but let's just call a spade a spade. And that's why these channels, although it's in the storytelling gradient, it's one of those gradients where herds and herds of people are coming. Now, as we go up and up and up, the creative ideas are the ones where it's a highly targeted niche. There's, let's say, 1,000 true fans that are resonating with these ideas because their consciousness is becoming more elevated to understand these ideas. All right, Armani, I get all these storytelling gradients, all that kind of stuff, but why are people gossiping about me? Okay, so since now you understand all this stuff, you understand that humans are innately storytelling creatures, we understand that storytelling is a gradient, and it just so happens that gossip is a part of that gradient. Question is, why are you the subject matter? You are currently the subject matter for a variety of reasons. It could be because you're an important guy. What determines an important guy? That depends. There are certain individuals that love to hear about celebrities because a celebrity is an important guy in their world. There are certain individuals who love to hear about what their close friend or family is doing because that individual is an important person in this individual's world. But just view it as you're an important guy to make that list. Now, how you're important, that also varies. It could be because of a good reason, and more often than not, when we're using the phrase gossip, we're assuming it in a negative reason. You don't want to judge others because we may even be the individuals who behave like this as well. Imagine if someone comes to you, you're on the phone, they're like, did you hear Timmy just got a promotion? Oh, cool, that's what's up. Congrats to Timmy. You may not even look up from your phone. Now flip that. Imagine if someone says, did you hear that Timmy just got sentenced to prison? What? You put your phone down. You put your phone to the side. You're like, how? What did he do? And part of you wants to know more. Due to the negativity bias of the brain loves hearing negative stories. It's a form of addiction that can happen. You don't want to judge other people. You want to understand from other people because who knows? We may be doing it as well. It happens in many different forms. So that's why people are gossiping about you. You have somehow entered an important figure in their mind's eye, and why you are important can vary, but more often than not, it is due to negative reasons. That's why they are gossiping about you. Especially the more people that are gossiping about you, the more they are occupying the lower level of the gradient where the masses hang out. Now, with all that being said, is gossiping a form of social unintelligence? In this channel, I try to give the most practical advice that I possibly can. And I do have to say that if you are, let's say, up here, you consider yourself a smart storyteller, one of the individuals that discusses big ideas, you may at times find yourself to not be lonely, but lonely in the mental realm because a lot of people don't understand you. And when we can find ourselves in this realm, we can have the illusion of judging others, being like, well, why aren't they up here with me? Instead of doing that, try to understand where they're coming from and understand gossip's role in the realm of social intelligence. Because surprisingly, it does have a role. I'm not saying that you got to be talking bad about people left and right, yet just understand its role. And when you can understand its role, you'll see why people are doing it when they are doing it. Rather than judging them and separating yourself, it's more so a game of, this is just a part of how the social dynamics game works. People are gossiping here and there from different parts of the world. It seems as though it's innate. Armani did tell me that storytelling is primal, there's a gradient. And when we can understand that, we're no longer going to personalize when someone is gossiping about us because it's just how humans work. Surprisingly, the more that you understand about gossiping, the more that you understand about storytelling, and it helps you in the top level tier keep getting better. And at times, you can enter the other parts of the gradient and leave your mark when you find the need to leave your mark. Now, without that being said, if people are gossiping about you, give yourself a little bit of pat on the back, because some people, they will do their best to do things in a way where they're being spoken about, but they never get that opportunity because they're doing things that aren't different. So if you are doing something different in a way that aligns with a vision, a purpose, the moral character, then others are going to talk. Good, bad, whatever, doesn't matter. They're going to be talking, and it's just a part of the game in the world of communication skills. It's just being made aware of how to behave. So understand that gossiping is a part of the communication skills world. It's a part of storytelling. It's a part of the gradient. And the next time someone is speaking about you, before reacting so quick, use this as an opportunity to level up the storytelling skills so you can thrive even more in the higher portions of the gradient. Thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.